here, and then I also have to do the same thing on Instagram. So give me just a second.
Okay. Seen Auntie Trisha's video. Car. It
I
was like,
did not see Auntie Trisha's video.
oh, I was telling you.
Okay. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me put this up real quick. Let me put our little show. I do this at the beginning of every show, so
Let's go. Let's get it. 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 Let's go.
Pretty good background music on it.
maybe I should, but I think that's a copyright.
Yeah, we'll make
But
our
yeah.
own
Oh, I'm gonna do an introduction and then we can go in.
friend and friends.
Well, yeah, that's my new introduction. Hey, everybody, welcome to Fran and Friends podcast. As you know, I always stream live, usually on Friday and Saturday, but today I have a special guest with me, and I really mean special. This individual came from my own loins. I have me today, my daughter, Kinaya Mora. She's known as Naya. Sorry for giving up your government name.
It's okay. I put it in there anyway.
Okay. We're going to be talking about um, being desensitized from forgiveness and what that looks like. But this is not going to be your usual, like, kind of me asking the guest on the show questions as to, how we can get deeper into the conversation, even though we will. This is more of like a family chat and kind of showing you where we came from in our relationship to where we are now. And I guess we'll just get into the conversation. So you're saying about, did you want to talk about Auntie Trisha's thing now or later?
Oh, it wasn't nothing bad. It was just she was like, I'm getting old. And then I was just laughing. I said, Auntie, you're so dramatic. I know I should have been an actress. I would have got paid more.
Okay.
That was it.
So I yeah, be like, Auntie, we're all at some point in life going to be shifting or transitioning out of this lifetime, and no one gets a passcode
Hi.
unless of course you know of one that I don't.
Can't tell you it's a secret.
Okay, no problem. You can tell me offline. So, how do we get on the topic of being desensitized from forgiveness? I think we were talking about, like, for a whole year. Was it something between you and your best friend? Or like you guys weren't talking and then you guys automatically were like, okay, we're not going to talk. I'm not going to talk to this girl anymore because I feel a way and I'm just going to block her out. Is and then
Yeah.
could you share that whole story?
Um, because I had a best friend. No, I do have a best friend that I currently trusted. I trusted back then to look over some stuff. And when she didn't, and it wasn't my stuff to look over, and I trusted her with that, it hurt me because it hurt everybody else. But at the end of it, I had to realize she didn't do anything wrong because that wasn't her situation. That I put her in that position to even have any kind of effect on both of us. So I didn't. I just felt like that wasn't okay to fault somebody that long, and them not even knowing or being able to have that conversation. Like, and just to be so angry at somebody for something materialistic, I can understand the principle, but I just feel like a principle doesn't outweigh a life. So at the end of the day, you gotta find something that's more important to see past it. And yeah,
Okay. I
that was
kind
it.
of lost on the story. I mean, I didn't get the context of what we were talking about. Like,
Because let's just say, for example, I get my best friend some shoes from my brother, and whatchamacallit. Um, and say she's supposedly sold the shoes, but in reality, somebody just came in the house and stole it out.
Oh.
So, whatchamacallit. My brother would be upset at the fact that he trusted her, but he thinks that she sold it instead of like something that could have happened to her too.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, got
and so I just feel like uh, that was a lot. It was a lot going on.
okay. So, kind of gearing into our own family thing, like you've seen us in our relationship, how we've gone from one dynamic to another. Like how, when me and my son, your brother, we had stopped talking for how long? Like maybe a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally did not find it unusual to not talk to my own son for a whole year. Because in my learning in the area of where I was growing, I was trying to figure out what boundaries looked like for me. So at this particular point, I was trying to express what I wasn't going to participate in and what I would participate in. And if not talking to you for an extensive amount of time is what that took to express that my boundaries were being crossed, because at this particular point, I've already made um, all the things that I've wanted to say about me being uncomfortable. I've already stated that, or I've also not learned how to really vocalize that. So, being in that space, because I think that's a space of learning, right? Where if you don't know how to express yourself, what happens is there's just an action that occurs that speaks for what is unsaid, if that makes sense. So, like, I know you've seen me express that behavior with your brother. Have you seen that also too expressed in other parts of, our family dynamic prior to how it is now? And like, how did that play out for you? How did that play out for your own life, like in your own dynamics with your own friends?
Well, I mean, as siblings, that's what we always do. When we're mad at each other, we're gonna ignore each other, and eventually we're gonna talk. But like as we get older, you have that space, so you guys aren't forced to talk to each other. Out of sight, out of mind, and yeah, it's just. But those are my siblings, so I was already used to that. As far as my friends, it takes a lot more for my friends to do stuff because like they don't know my everyday like how my brother and my sisters do. My
Mhm.
friends, I give them a little leeway to mess up because like y'all are still, even though we love each other, y'all still getting to know me as a person. And uh, I don't know. I don't really like ignoring them, but I feel like it took something. It took something big for me to ignore you the way I ignore my siblings.
So, I mean, I totally get what you're saying because it is. They're seeing us live our life to life, the daily life, and they know what's going on. And plus, we have more of an emotional attachment with them versus our friends.
Yeah.
Um, but since you're saying that that gives our friends more, I guess, space or opportunity for them to be on the cutoff list versus your siblings, and why? Why is that for you?
Because like my friend may not know what my boundary is, but as my sibling, as my brother or my sister, like you know what's gonna bother me, you know what's gonna trigger me, and you do it on purpose. My friend, if they, I feel like it's not as often as my sibling would do it something to me, and it's
Mhm.
just more like perception over no, yeah, perception over intention. Like
Talk about that.
Like, what does it look like more than what you were trying to do? Like, does it look like my friend is from the outside looking in? Does it look like my friend is a bad friend because there's one mistake, or am I supposed to just believe like that one mistake dictates our whole relationship?
Mm,
So, like, I just gotta take a step back sometimes and really look at the situation and think like, how big is it for it to have that like an effect on me? If I'm not hurt, if my family is not like, if it doesn't affect my daily life, I think it's something I can get over.
hmm
That's why I feel like my friends, they get a little leeway because they don't know sometimes. So yeah.
I like that. Thank you for that. I like that example. Um, so like, why do you think like we were desensitized from forgiveness? Like, what did that show up for you growing up in our house? What did that look like for you?
I mean, it was a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I just guess I'm just so used to ignoring each other, but we're gonna talk because we always make each other laugh eventually. But it's just when we get older, because we're separate and we feel like we gotta stand on principles, and we're still trying to figure ourselves out as adults. Like, we don't know what, like, help me out here if you're catching my drift.
Oh, no, that's okay, babe. I was thinking, do you think like when we were like when I was raising you guys, do you think in a sense that I was really emotionally available, or also too maybe emotionally growing up with you guys because I really didn't know how to explain what I was feeling my own self.
Mm, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It was like, it's different with you versus my dad. And I don't know if it's just because I'm a daddy girl, but like, I'd be kind of scared to open up to you because I don't know if you're gonna understand what I'm feeling, and I don't know if you're gonna say the right things or what I like get in trouble about. Like with my dad, it's different because like my dad, he feel for me for my like my life away from him because
Mhm.
like it's just stuff that's not in his control that he can't help at that in the moment. So like when he's giving me his perspective of stuff, when I talk to him, it's just like, okay, this is what I want to hear. This is versus with you because it's kind of like, and as a child, it's like a protagonist and antagonist type stuff. So like
Mhm.
that when I was worried about you, yeah,
No, that's totally fine. I mean, you knew me a certain way growing up, and then your dad was a safe space. I mean,
yeah,
that's the reality of what that was. I like you said, you couldn't trust me. You didn't know whether I would hurt your feelings or even validate you. Or so all that is valid, totally valid. Now, how like for us learning how to actually come into this conversation of being desensitized from forgiveness, do you think it's because we didn't know really how to explain what we were feeling, that that was the creation of like our box of okay, if you don't fit this, this is not forgiveness for me, or this is what I'm feeling, what desensitization is, and I just don't feel like you fit the criteria of what I look at as requirements for forgiveness.
mm, that was wordy, so kind of lost me. But I was going to say, can you repeat that again in like a shorter version?
Yeah, so like people have different levels of forgiveness, and so people also view like, okay, if this is what forgiveness looks like for a healthy person, right?
Mm,
and this is what forgiveness looks like for an unhealthy person. What are the criterias in those boxes for either one for you? Like, since we're talking about desensitization, like how we were numb from forgiving because we didn't know how to forgive, like what did that look like for you? That how did you know that you were desensitized from forgiveness? How that
So
see?
my biggest thing, like the biggest change that I seen was you, and it took for you to change for me to understand. Because like when I see other people's family, it's like as a kid, you know how me and my siblings get into a fight. I don't know I have to forgive them. I just know you tell me these are my best friends, and I gotta love them, and I gotta know them every day. I gotta have their back, and I don't know why outside of the fact that we're blood. So what's call it like go and seeing other people and their family like I looked at it when I was younger like y'all are soft, but not even realizing like this is what you're supposed to communicate. You're not supposed to go days without talking to this person. You're not supposed to just be angry for this long. Stress gonna kill you, baby. Yeah, it it was stressful, but um, dang, I had another thing to say. Sorry, having a brain fart here.
Fine. You said something about the you guys having to be
Oh,
siblings and
but it
having
was
to.
for you. It was once I seen you starting to transition from the mom that I knew you as to like trying to talk, trying to be peaceful, trying to like use your energy for certain areas. And that's why I'm like, okay, I gotta take a step back and look at the stuff that I'm giving my energy to. Like, is this affecting my daily life? Is it hurting me? Is this gonna cause anything bad for me in the long run? No, then it's not that deep. In the same way that I teach the kids that I work with now, I still gotta like put that into my daily life and yeah, use those lessons because it's from childhood to adulthood. It's still the same problems. Just learning how to balance it.
What was the difference that you seen? Because you said you didn't make any reference of change or wanting to forgive until you see me change. What were those things that you saw change? Like you saw the communication, you saw, like, was there an example that you can give?
Yeah, we're older now. You start crazy. Once you start giving me whoopings, no, once I seen you stop giving Yazi whoopings, I think that's really took a change in my heart because I'm like, it didn't make no sense. I like we get raised this way and she get raised that way, and it is like it forces me to forgive you because like that's my little sister. I want the best for her, but it just seemed unfair. It's like, dang, why I have to go through that and she go through this? But yeah,
So it was me being softer with Yazi or taking a different parenting approach
mhm.
versus the parenting approach I took with you and your brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because it seems like you still may have some stuff inside.
I didn't realize I have some stuff inside.
It's
So I
okay.
said it. But I mean, I'm gonna say I'm fine now. I just didn't realize when I until I said it out loud how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But I can't really take back the past. It is what it is. But I mean, I forgive you already. It was just I don't know, you know, feeling unfair and not being able to have no control over a situation. I think that feeling still carries on to like adulthood. The same way you felt as a kid, you still feel that way. You know.
No, I totally get it. I
Uh,
totally get it. Yeah. And I appreciate your forgiveness, baby.
of course.
Um, because you already know, as a mom, I always refer to the patterns of behavior that I have exhibited, the things that I've said to you guys, where I know that those weren't loving things that a parent should say or should do. And when I say should, it's like I'm meaning in a healthy way. Parents should be loving to their children, providing them with a safe space to be heard. Parents should want to give their children hugs and really sit down and pay attention to them. And parents should give children the space to express themselves, whether we as parents agree with their ideals or not. Because I feel like those things have been like the epitome for how I have raised the youngest, which is Naya's sister, Yazi, and that has helped her to become a version of her fuller self versus the trauma that I created with you and your brother, right?
Yeah, because I just feel like we're compared to her. It's like if somebody was talking about us, those two are aggressive. That one's okay. Like, you can see the difference.
Nah, totally. And I think it's just one of these things, not just one of these things, because I'm not going to compartmentalize the things that you experience as something small because it wasn't. Um, that as we identify, and this is something that I've always said, okay, if you do identify that, hey, this thinking was something similar to what mom used to do, not to behave in that way, not to notice that that is my behavior and not yours. But once I've provided like you with the, hey, this is mom's behavior, now the transition becomes yours as an adult to say, I don't want to participate in that shit anymore. Or I don't want to participate in that thinking. And it's easier said than done. But go ahead now.
No, I was just gonna say like, even though I don't have kids, work with the kids I have, like it's that I still incorporate like the changes that I want for myself, from compared to like how you raised. It's like I'm not gonna yell at my kid. Or like I'm not gonna yell at you unless you really like take me there and you're not listening at all. But like
Mm,
I'm more. I see myself like communicating with my kid. I want to know like what happened. What's the problem? Why you feel that way? Did he do anything? And it just I want to break it down before I break you down. Like
mm,
let me know so I can see if I can fix this, and if we can't, I know we're gonna find a solution out of this without having to be physical. But also, working with kids that aren't my kids is very helpful because I can't hit you, so I have no choice but to communicate, and that's
mm.
but helping me.
I love that for you. I love that for you. All the things that you're explaining, had I had the opportunity to do that as a mom in my knowing that I know now with you and your brother, I definitely would have done that. I definitely would have asked those questions. But it's not the but. It's those things like I wasn't raised like that. I didn't have a good reference to say, "Hey, this is this is the part where we need to work on." Had
Mm-hmm.
I did, I'm sure you guys would have been like light years ahead and not in the mind space that I helped to co-create, which was a lot of trauma. So I appreciate you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's if anything, it shaped us to not be like punks. Because at least we faced it head on, but if we faced it a little too head on, we might be the problem. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm like, yes, and those are definitely areas I'm still working on as well. Sometimes I still run into things head on, which, you know, this is a journey, right? Just a journey of living this, living life with how we know it, with the information that we know, and then hopefully adapting to like a better way of living as we do want to transition into what we want life to look like for us. And like
Emma,
you said, you working.
people
What's
on,
up? Kiddo? Say it again.
is there people on here?
Yeah, there is. Hi, Sonia. I didn't even see your comment on now. Yep. Sonia said, how have you opened that communication now? So, do you want to share that, baby? Or
You talking to
do you?
me? Are you?
I think both of us. I'll share my version and then you can share your version.
Yeah, thank
How's
you,
that?
because I'm just considered my wrist is
Okay.
killing me.
So, how I've opened the communication now is when they do come to me, I'll ask her, okay, how are you feeling? Did you want me to listen? Did you want me to yeah, did you want me to listen? Did you want me to strategize with you? Did you want me to what's the last one? There's three things that I usually ask.
Did
So
you
I
want me to listen or did you want my feedback?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So did you want me to listen? Do you want me to give you feedback or do you want me to strategize with you? So those are the things that I say now. So whatever capacity that she wants me or they want me to operate in, that's how I now sit in that communication style as a parent. So what about you, kiddo?
She's saying, what's my communication style now?
She said, how have
Uh,
you opened that communication now?
with you,
Yeah, like I guess from how I do it now with you.
we cool now. I see you like I'm a homegirl. I don't know. Like, it just, once I seen you work through your stuff, mom, like, it didn't really take, I didn't need a big old time to forgive you, you know? Like, it's not like it just came at me at one time. Like, no. During your process, we took the journey with you. Because, like, you know, we was judging you the whole time. You was trying to transition. Yeah, like, we were watching you, and we seeing you being slow. You have to be like, she is so fake. It's like, she is just acting weird, and she acting like a weirdo right now. And like a lot of times, people will be like, why your mom so nice? I'm like, she wasn't like that before. She's just trying to change now. And like, it was to us, it was just like we're waiting on the front to go back. Like, when is this gonna stop? And the fact that it kept going was like, damn, she's really trying to change. Change. And so, uh, like, just having to go through that transition with you. And plus, while it was happening, we were asking you questions like, "Mom, why are you doing this? Why is Yazzie not?" And I'm complaining to you, like, "Go hit her," and you're like ignoring me. But it's okay, cause like it wasn't even my business to be mad. That's not my kid. I could be mad from the side, but that's not my kid. So
So Sonia had another question and she's laughing at you because she put a big LOL in caps.
uh,
She said, does your daughter feel that her feelings and emotions have been validated?
now, now, yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know my mom got my back. I know I can talk to my mom like on a deep communication. Plus, she's sensitive now. Like, really, she ain't sensitive. She used to just be stone face, you know? Like, we don't really talk about emotions, or when I do catch
Did you say dome faced?
it, says stone face.
Oh, stone faced.
Yeah. But, like, when I did catch her crying, it would be on rare occasion, and it would be for specific things. Like, if it wasn't a death or a heartbreak or just something that was, like, overwhelming in her life. But I don't know. I haven't really seen you cry for us, but I have seen you feel bad. And I remember when we were younger, like certain things, when you felt bad when you hit us on accident, when it wasn't our fault, you'd be like, I'm sorry, here, you can hit mommy back. And we would look at you and be like, I don't really want to hit you. I could be a baby tap. But, like,
Mm,
you just see the difference.
okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sonia said, what does forgiveness look like and feel for both of you?
You first.
Forgiveness for me, there it looks a couple of different ways. One, I feel like my heart is lighter. I feel like I don't have to carry this weight of unforgiveness. I don't have to carry guilt. I also feel expansion in my heart. I feel love. I feel like I'm able to talk to the person without there being a filter of some sort. I feel like forgiveness also too allows me to just take the weight off of what I felt was heavy for both of us. Yeah.
Uh, Forgiveness for me, It's like being able to see how we both matured, like
Mm,
just to see. I like to take all the bad and the good, and like, cause I feel like I can't really be happy for the good if I don't appreciate the bad.
mm,
Cause that's the reason I feel so strongly about the good stuff. Like I want to hold on to the good stuff because I don't want the bad stuff to catch up to. Like I don't want to let it go, you know. And uh, shoot, I just forgave like 3 people recently, so it's really like a refreshing, you know. Like I don't have to be mad at you. I can see the good and the bad from our situation, and I can take from it, but I don't have to hate you. I can still love you from a distance, from a safe space, and just knowing that person is okay with me.
mm. Thank you, babe.
Mhm.
Sonia says that that is too sweet. The apology means everything. The apology does mean everything. I I'd like to talk about that a little bit more because I feel like when I talk to somebody and I've done wrong to them, that me saying how I participated in that, I feel like that also validates them, um, for them already having this knowing that I did something wrong. And then also too, um, it just releases me from the guilt from what I did in whatever state of mind that I was in. If I was in a manipulative state of mind, or if I was in a state of mind where I was in, what do you call that? Where I felt like I had to do this out of malice, but not even really thinking with the logical state of mind of how the consequences would look like. So like those are things also to be thought about, when thinking about these apologies. And then also too, what about if they're not present to apologize or to ask for their apology if they did something wrong to you? I also did something in that realm where I wrote letters to these people, maybe if they passed away, to also, um to me that was like an area, um I guess, for me to find forgiveness for myself to move forward from what I felt I was slated by. So, what about you, kiddo?
Um, I don't really have any enemies yet that passed away, but
She said, "Yet."
they're still pretty young. But let me call it. For me, like if the person isn't there in contact, I wait. I journal and I just write because like if that happened, like not even I'm not using my brother, but like for my ex, like I wasn't able to see him in person. I wasn't able to text him, call him. He's in jail, like. And then when he was in LA County, and I tried to go visit him, he had work, and so I just felt like, dang, like I'm trying so hard, and it's just nothing is working. And then when I finally do get to book another visit to actually see him on a day he doesn't work, he gets shipped out. And I'm just like, dang, like another thing. And it's the fact that I had to go through all that just to try and catch him. I think that's what frustrated me more because like it's feel like he's so close yet so far away.
Mm,
And like after I'm seeing myself go through all this stress and bringing back old feelings like that I don't miss, it made me take a step back and like, you know what? Let me just Let me just jot down my feelings instead of trying to catch up with somebody. So when the time is right, I can say exactly how I was feeling and we could talk about it if they're open to that conversation. But if not, at least I got it out and I said what I had to say.
okay. Thank you, kiddo. And then Sonia said, "Does your forgiveness allow you not to call back up the hurt and pain? Does your forgiveness allow you not to call back up the hurt and pain?"
She mean like after we forgive them, do we call them or not call them again? Or what?
I was thinking maybe she means by like So if you forgive them, the hurt and pain that's originally associated with them, is that included in that? Like, okay, now that we've cleaned the slate with them for
50-50.
us moving forward, huh?
It's like more of a how your perspective of it. Like if you want to hold on to that hurt, of course that hurt is always gonna be there, but like you don't have to see them in that light no more. Like
Mm.
I just feel like it's more of how you look at the person. Like shoot, that's like being mad at your parents. Your parents do something all the time. It's, but they still do good stuff too. That's all I'm saying. You can't hold that bad stuff and just overthrow all the good stuff. No, there's both. It's a balance. So,
Okay. Yeah. I feel the same way too. I just um sometimes I just keep in the back of my mind, like, there's patterns and stuff to also be aware of. So the actions, I don't forget like that. I still keep that in the back of my mind. The hurt and pain, that's all gone, but I still am aware of, like, okay, just protect myself
hmm
in a sense. And
because
then some, go ahead, babe.
I was saying also now you know how to like coordinate yourself. Like
Yeah,
because of that pain, like you now know what to avoid. You now know like what that person may or may not do, but like it does put up that safe little barrier.
yeah. Their boundaries are being created. And she
hmm
said, Sonia said that, nice. She established healthy boundaries. Okay, and then she had another comment here, meaning if forgiveness has been given freely, are you able not to keep reliving and recalling the pain? Yep. Okay, we interpreted that correctly. All right. When you keep hold of patterns, is that really forgiveness? Um, I was thinking that as I said it too. I think no, but I also think too, where does discerning come in? If we are going to move forward in a relationship with somebody that has done us wrong, how do we operate in wisdom if we don't recall what was done?
um,
Awareness. Okay. Thank you, KS, for the awareness. Appreciate that.
appreciate it. But what you said? How do we what? You not listening?
No, no, I was reading another comment here. It's and I don't know where this came from, how long ago it was established. It was from Tanya. It was from Sonia as well. But could you repeat your comment, babe? And I'll read what she said.
I didn't have a comment because I needed to repeat the question.
Oh, the question was, when you keep hold of patterns, is that really forgiveness?
Hold of patterns like when I keep remembering their stuff, or
Yeah, because I was saying that I do forgive them, but then I also too remember I have to be aware of the patterns that we had, in our interaction with that person that we forgave. So that way, like you said,
yeah,
to move accordingly. And then KS said it's awareness. And then KS also said we have to be aware and move accordingly.
exactly, yeah, like uh, I'm gonna continue to use my ex. Like I don't hate you. It's like I just know how to go over my life with you. Like I know this is how you are, and if that's how you are, okay, I accept you as a person. But I'm not gonna hate you because I know your ways. Like it is what it is, and it's just a matter. Like you just gotta accept what a person come with for real.
Okay. So it's just like, okay, if I know that this is how you behave, and if I know if I'm gonna go to the store and go buy me a bag of chips, and you're always gonna call me and go to the store and buy a bag of chips for you as well,
hmm
I'll know that if I don't want to do that, I'm just gonna go to the store and not tell you that I'm going to go buy the bag of chips, because I know this is your behavior, and allow you to live in your space and allow me to keep my own peace.
hmm
So,
Exactly.
okay. So
Right.
Sonia said, you can be aware, but keeping account isn't forgiveness. It's planning for the next thing to happen. Hmm,
I can
that's a
see
good
that. I can see that. But
point.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I guess she's saying like, cause we're not diving in like with open arm. Oh, yeah, all the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally I hear what Sonia's saying, but I definitely think it's really more for me, it's more of awareness. Like it is me not and I think this is really more for outside relationships versus inside relationships. And I'm gonna say like more of friendships versus like in our internal family structure or those that we hold dear to us. But even in that case, I just feel like it really is awareness of how we want to operate in that space with that person. Because once that's been done, nothing really ever goes back to the same type of relationship that it was once once that diversion has been created or once that rip has been created. Okay, so KS said awareness is not keeping account. And then what else did KS said? It's a realization of the fact and moving forward. And then said exactly. And then Sonia said, then it's healthy boundaries than anything what you are speaking into. Then it's healthy boundaries. Okay. Then we're explaining healthy boundaries then.
Okay.
And then KS said, and forgiveness is so we can move forward freely. Well, I love
Right.
this dialogue we're having.
Because what you call it? After I sent my like last text to the old significant other, it was like a breather. Like it was like so much. I don't have to hate you no more. Like I love that I don't have to hate
Mm,
you.
I
And
feel
yeah, like this. I love that I don't have to do this no more. Like that. You ever been in a relationship and you just like been so stressed internally? Like, bro, I don't need to be here. Like, oh, just me. Maybe it's just me. Cause like,
no, kiddo, you already know the relationships I've been in. Hello. That's why I gave you
yeah,
that
but
face.
like mine, I feel like I'm got young love. You guys are like adult love. You guys are established. But with me, it's like I thought I had to put myself through like the ringer just to show him like I got your back, even when on your lowest, I got you, and I don't want you to feel like I don't got you.
That was me, kiddo.
Yeah, so like to not feel like that stress over you because my health was being affected because I was worried about your health. Like I
Mm,
want to make sure that you're okay, and I'm not focusing on me. So having
mm,
to let go of that and have like being able to refocus on myself, that's the best feeling.
mm.
Cause I know I let myself go, and to get me back, it's like, hey, hello, darkness, my old friend.
I love that for you, kiddo. I mean, just thinking about the release of that and you finding the love for yourself again. Just whew, that gives me all like goosey bumps. I love that for you.
Yeah,
So we're about to end our session, babe, and I wanted to ask you three questions that were random.
go ahead.
All right. So,
Not really
and
random. Um,
yeah, they're podcast questions. So, can you give me three numbers from 1 to 95?
Five,
Huh?
4,
5, 4,
6.
6. Okay. So, I'll ask you those questions, but I wanted to ask you one thing that you wanted the people to walk away from after watching this podcast. What do you think would be a few points that you want to leave them with?
I'm not calling y'all old, but I think you guys are some wiser owls than me. So I don't think nothing I said is nothing that you don't already know yourself. But I do appreciate you guys for listening. Um, Something to walk away with. I don't really know. Like I think they already know what to walk away with, but I do appreciate them because a lot of times when I have conversations with other people, they already have their own way. Like they know They went through our lesson already, so they could see it from television. They every like this, I don't even know how to explain it.
They could see the whole sitcom play
Yeah,
out.
they can see it before it happens. So like sometimes they'll try to cut me off, like, nah, don't do that, But y'all let me go through it on my own, so I could like figure it out, and I don't have to be annoyed because somebody try to tell you something, and you're like, well, can I like experience it so I can know myself? Like it's like that. Like I appreciate the listening ears. Y'all not just trying to tell me, oh, you wrong, this and that. No, you letting me get my perspective out.
Okay. You appreciate being heard.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I hear you, love.
Thank
All
you.
right. So your first question is, let me blow this up real quick. Your first question is, you said 5, 4, and 6. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So your first question is, what's your favorite pastime and why?
I say basketball.
Okay.
My favorite pastime is playing basketball every time because
Why?
we always win.
Okay. That's
We
why,
win.
because you guys win.
Yep.
Okay. For those of you guys that don't know, she used to play basketball all throughout school.
And she has a city ring, so out of all my siblings, none of them have it. I'm the champ in the family.
Okay, there you go. All right, champ. So next question is number 4. What's the best compliment you ever received?
John 3:16. You are altogether beautiful, my love. When they said that, they just sent the Bible verse to my DM. They didn't say nothing else. They just sent the verse. And
Babe, John 3:16 is for God so
oof,
loved the
you
world.
didn't know what I meant. Well, that was the closest thing in my head. It was
No, but I
something.
love it. I know, I love that thing. What they said, could you repeat it again?
Well, maybe it was Solomon. I think it was Solomon. Now
Okay,
that I
okay.
think about it, but it was like they just sent the verse to a DM, and we looked it up. It was like, "You are altogether beautiful, my love." And instead of like
Mm,
people always do dumb stuff, like they'll leave a ball and be like, "Oh, my ball rolled in your DM. Can you pass it back to me?" Start a conversation. But that one, I was like, "Okay, using Jesus."
I
Okay.
love that. And I think that is from the Book of Solomon. What did that mean to you when you saw that? Like what kind of feelings were you?
It's
How did
pure
that come up?
feelings. Like now, when people my age like start flirting, all I feel is lust and you know bad intentions. It's not like you want to be marry me.
Mm,
So like that is like you made me feel beautiful. You made me feel like genuine. You
mm, I like it. I gonna steal that. Thank you, babe.
know.
And you are altogether beautiful, my love.
Thank you, darling.
All right, number 6. You're welcome. Let's see. Number 6 says, "What did you want to be when you were a kid and why?"
Channing Tatum's housewife.
Oh, what?
Channing Tatum's wife, but they didn't tell you guys the name on the stage when I went.
Oh my God. You got to tell the story, babe. Before we leave, guys, I swear this was one of the most embarrassing moments as a mom.
In 8th grade, they asked us like, "What do we want to be?" So we could say it when we got on stage, or the people would say it for us. And everybody could write doctor or veteran or like lawyers, all the smart stuff. And I knew what I wanted. Go big or go home. I wanted to marry Channing Tatum, and I wanted to be his wife. So I put Channing Tatum's housewife. But when I got on the stage, the lady didn't say Channing Tatum's name. They just said, Kenaya Mora wants to be a housewife.
Is that still something that you want to pursue?
Yeah, because he just got divorced.
Channing Tatum, if you are watching this, my daughter is interested. All right, baby. I appreciate you sharing space with me, and for all of you, those of you that have been in the participating in the conversation, thank you so much. And hopefully, this conversation has been able to, I don't know, uplift somebody.
Mm.
This sounds like she wanted the love of a family. Sonia said that, ha ha ha, he
I
married
was
Joe
showing signs
Kravitz.
early.
Sorry, you got to pick somebody else now. Sounds like she wanted the love of a family. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a good thing to glean. I think so too. Under the deeper part of, um, yeah, just wanting a loving family, right? To be safe and to be secure and to be seen. All right, y'all. Well,
Mhm.
appreciate the time. You guys have a wonderful Sunday and we'll talk later. Now you can stay on the
Okay. Thanks for joining Chocolate Sundays.